All right, what is up, YouTube? MCole40 here. David Alives actually sent in this FA deck list. I posted earlier in the week. It was like, hey, you know, it's new format. What you guys brewing back there? And we got a few interesting decks submitted. So, what are you guys thinking about new format? You liking this? You having your creative juices flowing? I didn't actually think we would have a viable FA deck by this point in time. We actually just got FA Auto Navigator in, Extreme Force? And I can't say that I'm extremely disappointed with where FAs are going, but this deck has more field spells than any other deck I've ever seen. And it's a little bit ridiculous just how much this deck, well, tries to thrive. Now, one of the things that it was brought to my attention is the Ancient Fairy combo is going to be your primary source in this deck. You guys know about Destrudo with Armageddon Knight typically being your go-to to literally resolve Destrudo. So your main focus of the deck is, as much anything else is, you know, your field spells are your go-to thing. Yeah, these two. These three are literally going to be your go-to for what you want to be resolving in this deck. So bear that in mind when you're looking at the profile. It's really amazing that this deck has so many fucking field spells, and I don't know how it gets away with it. So, and it still only plays 2 fucking terraforming. But, you know, sometimes weird shit just kind of happens in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's really interesting. Now, there are other variants to this. David said that he has a pure variant and a few other things. And I believe that this variant right here is the most consistent with what he's been testing. So keep that in mind as well. We don't have a side deck. Your side deck's probably going to be evenly matched. Other hand traps and things like that. If you really need a list for things that you're going to be doing in there. So keep that in mind when you're like, oh man, there's not a side deck here. Well, technically, it is what you want to build out of it. So anyway, let's dig into this, shall we? 2 copies of Armageddon Knight, just to drop Destrudo. You're also playing 1 reinforcement of the army to search for Armageddon Knight. Triple Ash Blossom, of course, 2 Destrudo, and 2 Effect Veiler, along with 3 FA Auto Navigator, 3 FA Hang On Mock, and triple Whip Crosser. And then, of course, spell cards, 1 Circuit Grand Prix, triple City Grand Prix, triple Off-Road Grand Prix, triple Pit Stop, triple Test Run, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Monster Reborn, 2 Desires, 1 Reinforcement of the Army, 2 Scapegoats, 1 Soul Charge, and 2 Terraforming. Once again, moving on down here to the extra deck, we have Ancient Fairy Dragon, 1 Black Rose Dragon, 2 Motorhome Transport, 1 Omega, 1 Utopia, 1 Tomahawk, 1 Utopia the Lightning, 1 Borolo Dragon, 1 Decode Talker, 2 Link Spider, 1 Proxy Dragon, 1 Cleafort Genius, and 1 Saruja, of course. Now, what the fuck does this deck actually, like, intend to do? Like, what does your game plan entail with all of these field spells? Because I'm not too familiar with these, but they're pretty good. This one increases your levels during a battle phase, and then once per turn when your FA monster destroys an opponent's monster, you get to draw a card. Then if this face-up card in the field is destroyed by a card effect, you can add an FA from your deck to your hand. Alright, that's not bad. I assume that you want this to be your opening one to kill with Ancient Fairy Dragon to search. Seems pretty good. Triple of the Grand Prix itself also increases FAs by 2 during the main phase and battle phase. Your opponent cannot target FA monsters you control with card effects. Alright. And if this face-up card in the field is destroyed by card effect, you can add 1 FA from your deck to your hand. Huh. If only destroying field spells counted as a card effect, I think this would be a little bit better. But all these field spells search. And then off-road, increase the level of all FA monsters on the field by 2 during the main phase only. Alright. That's interesting. And then we have two other effects on this thing. When an FA monster you control is destroyed by battle, you can discard one random card from your opponent's hand. And then if this face-up card on the field is destroyed by your opponent's card effect, you can add one FA from your deck to your hand. Alright. Once again, all of these have the same floating potential. The monsters, you must pay 300 life points to activate the effect of a... Oh, your opponent must pay 300. Whose level is lower than this, and each time an FA spell card on the field is activated, this thing gets to increase its level by 1. So if this thing is level 7 or higher, your opponent cannot discard or send any cards from their hand to the graveyard to activate card effects. That's interesting. Mock, let's see here, unaffected by the activated monster effects of monsters who level and rank are lower than that. Then each time an FA spell trap card is activated, this thing goes up by 1. And if this card's level 7 or higher, any card sent to the graveyard is banished. Oh shit, this is anti-meta. This actually lets you blink out your opponent. And then we've talked about FA Auto Navigator before. This is the one that acts like Quick Fix. If it's in your graveyard, or if this card is in your hand or graveyard, target one FA monster you control whose current level is higher than its original level. And if you do reduce that target level by the difference between that, and then you can special summon it. If this card is normal summon, you get to add an FA field spell from your deck to your hand. Once again, we have the immense value for whatever you want. And then Pit Stop here literally just does what? Target one FA you control, reduce its level by 2, and if you do draw cards equal to the number of other Pit Stops in your graveyard, plus 1. And then during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, and banish this card, target one FA in your graveyard, so summon it. Alright, this is really good. This is your draw power in the deck, outside of standard Desires plays. And then, let's see here. Triple FA Test Run, target one FA monster you control, change its battle position, then destroy one card on the field. Alright. During the main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one face-up card on the field and destroy it. And you do special summon one FA from your deck. Holy crap, this card is actually just broken. Literally, you get to change your battle position, destroy a card on the field, and if it's in your graveyard, you get to banish this card and pop another one. Huh. Interesting. Literally just a combo extender at will. Like, this is interesting. Now, David said the Ancient Fury combo is your most consistent. Brings out Hang On March as a Dark Law, which is actually really good, with Test Run being a non-targetable pop. The same combo can also turn into a Tomahawk play that ends on Saruja. Oh, where'd you go, Saruja? Which is actually really good. And March turn 1. The link adds a lot to the deck. This deck is powerful, but the barrier for the deck for a lot of players is finding the right build, as well as the plays on manipulating the levels. This build is the most consistent and is great for starting points for players looking to play the deck. I will definitely agree with you. Looking at FA as a whole, it's literally just level manipulation. You have to understand, making sure that you can get Hang On March to be a Dark Law is probably going to be your most predominant way of going about this, I feel. And I can definitely say with very little doubt in my mind that this deck reminds me a lot of an anti-meta deck. Especially if your deck can generate this on turn 1 with Saruja, literally just Ancient Fairy Dragon with anything else into Tomahawk, into Saruja, like, that's some pretty good value, honestly. And I mean, literally alone, Scapegoat gets you value as well. You might want to adjust a few things in the extra deck. Quite possibly. You might want to consider things like Firewall, if you want. Borreload's a great have in here to answer a lot of those really weird boards out there. But in the case of this, it's kind of up in the air. You gotta remember, you're playing a level manipulation deck, so, you know, outside of Motorhome being level 13 most of the fucking time, I mean, to what extent is things really going to go? So, I ask you, do you think FAs, they have one more set left, do you think the potential that they have is there? What do you think? You know, like I said, a deck that has a Dark Law seems really fucking good in today's current day in game. And I do have to give it to David, though. Looking at this on paper, and wanting to go mess around with it a little bit, having Test Run is a very great card, like being quick play, that's really good. I definitely like what this brings to the table. Fucking one destruction on their turn, one destruction on yours. Seems like really good value. So guys, tell me what you think about this deck down below in the description. And David, once again, sir, thanks for sending this on over. Hope you guys enjoy. I'm out. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.